If you guys come back, let me know if you can see and hear. Oh dear. Okay, we've got it marked as take 2. So I hope you guys will find this. So odd, isn't it? But this is going to be a good one. I hope you guys will find it. If you're just getting on here, we went live and nobody had sound. And it showed sound on my end. So there wasn't anything that I could do but try to go live again. I'm just getting situated. Oh, you do have sound. Okay, well, and we're vertical this time, so I was thinking maybe the way I have this in my phone holder, it was causing the sound to be muted or something. I don't know. I couldn't see anything wrong on my end, so sure there was. Okay, well, I'm glad everybody came back, or some of y'all came back anyway. So what you didn't hear me say on my first attempt is this little wood, I guess you call it a frame, came from Hobby Lobby. And when I got it, I thought something was wrong with it because all of these little pieces are, you know, you can see they're chipped. But it is just a distressed look, and it's meant to be that way. But they have been, every time I've used it or picked it up to do something with it, more of the paint kind of falls off. You know, it chips off. So what I'm doing is sealing this really well with my multi-purpose sealer by DecoArt. I do use this over any kind of wood anyway when I paint or when I use resin. And that will seal the wood because we don't know what they used on it. But this will give it a good seal and keep resin from seeping down into the wood and causing any bubbles or micro bubbles. So that's the first step. Thank y'all for coming back. I'm glad you can hear me. There's always some kind of little glitch. And I think it's like there's somebody who doesn't want me doing this. So we're going to keep persevering and do it anyway. You know, glitches and all. I am going to use my heat tool here to dry this. I don't normally, I usually just go do something else while it's drying and then do a second coat. But anytime I'm live, I don't have that luxury. So we're going to go ahead and use this to dry everything. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad some of y'all came to hang out live. I want to say happy Monday, and I am going to say happy Monday, but my heart has been so heavy with so much that's going on negative in the world. And many of you know that I lost my mom to Alzheimer's. She was had just, you know, really turned 84. And Savannah Guthrie has this situation with her mom being missing, kidnapped, what have you, and ransom notes and these kind of things. And my heart has been so heavy. Just thinking about it, praying for her all day, every day, just as I go. And so, you know, I had a different project for tonight, and I just decided to do this one. This one will be wonderful for anybody who wants to do something for either Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, or a birthday, or, you know, maybe next Christmas, just whatever. This would be a wonderful gift for a woman that you know. And I needed to do it. You know, one of the things that art has taught me is if you sit and ruminate on all that happens going on in our lives and in our world. Hi, Sherry. I'm glad you're here. You know, if we just ruminate on that and just obsess and watch every news coverage that's going on about it, it will take over and make us so sad, negative, skeptical of everybody around us, all the things. And we do have to be informed and watch some things and know what's going on. But I've chosen today to really not have that stuff on and just pray, you know, pray. And I have been praying, you know, that's the beauty of being a believer is pray. You know, people say, all I can do is pray, or what else can I do? And I've said that. What else can I do besides pray? Because we want a tangible way to help people, don't we? You know, that's normal. And, but let me tell you, there is nothing better you can do than pray. They have all of the sophisticated people working on that case. And so the very best thing we can do as a community of believers is pray. And we know there's power in prayer. So even if this turns out horribly, and I haven't seen an update, you know, exactly, Brenda, it is so depressing and so upsetting. So I haven't seen an update this afternoon or tonight or anything, but, you know, if the worst case scenario, and we all know what that is, and it could be very well what's happened, but prayer, continue to pray. Pray for the family. Pray for her grandkids. Pray. And then what else does that motivate you to do? It motivates me to continue to think about the elders around me. You know, anytime there's a storm, I try to remind everybody on Facebook where I do a lot of posts, you know, please check on your neighbors, check on your family. So, you know, things like that are what you can do. And I am focusing personally on sending more cards to elder people, you know, but turning to something tangible that you can do is a great way to use the gifts God's given you. And so I love to do art. I love to paint and create. And so this is my, you know, this is something I can do today that is a positive. It puts beauty in the world. It gives a message that God would want us to focus on, of prayer for each other and caring about each other. Even if we don't know the person, you can still care and pray. And so I hope you guys will just allow me to do this tonight. And you know, you can do on yours whatever you want. And I just thought of another verse that would be really good for this art piece. Her children rise up and call her blessed. I think that would be another really pretty one to do on this, and then give it to somebody for Mother's Day. So these are going to be some good ideas for you guys to do for all kinds of things. Let's see what I'm missing in the chat. Yes, such a sad situation. Great-grandson still in the... Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. How many days old is he? That's right, Luana. Prayer for all in need. Never feel like, you know, oh, I can't do anything. You can. You know, prayers is so important. And I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that she felt the prayers that were going up for her, or still feels them if she is still alive. But the family needs them as well, so don't stop. Do not stop praying. There is a lot of evil in the world, but there is a God who is going to have victory over all of that evil one day. So. Yeah, Betty, let us know how old he is or how many days old he is. I know he's a newborn, but I didn't know what day he was born. Okay, I think that's good and dry. Well, it's a little... I think this, the base is good and dry. I think these might need a little longer, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and do just a little bit of pretty background here. And I'm going to write on it first, and then we'll put that background. I do want it to be my handwriting, so we'll see how that turns out. But you could print something off. So a lot of you guys use, hi, is it Barb? Oh, good. You came in late through Facebook. Oh, well, I'm so glad you found us. That's okay. That's okay. He's 6 days old, Betty. Okay, thanks for letting us know. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so what was I going to say? Oh, you guys use decoupage paper or napkins. You could do that on this base right here. You could do so many things. but I am going to kind of place some little flowers around. So what I do is I cut glass myself, and I use these nippers. I would love to show you as well. I teach this inside my private group, and you can do so much with this glass. You can start, the best thing to start with is something like a little votive. In fact, I can show you like a cut or two just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, because there's always somebody, let me find my little bucket, always somebody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. So here's my little bucket. You always need some safety glasses on, and gloves as well, which I've got them here. I'm not going to take time since I'm not going to do a lot of cutting. I'm just going to cut a couple. But with your nippers, you just place them inside your item, like this is a little votive. And I'm just going to see how I call these eyes, they're just the little screws, and I'm going to have those facing up. So I'll say eyes up, and that way when you nip it, your piece or any little particles will go down in your bucket. But then you've got your first little cut. I always cut off the little, nip off the little ends that are super sharp. My first thing is cut off those little ends. I can see this glass is super sharp, so I'll just kind of nip along. Trying to keep my eyes somewhat up, but I need y'all to see what I'm doing. So hopefully this is working for you and you can see. And I'm just nipping off that really sharp glass that's on the edge. And then you've got your first little petal, as I call it, little piece that you can use for your, what we're going to do, these little flower petals. So here's this again, and that, so I've just done this already, got a lot of these cut, and I'm going to just place them and see how I want them. Usually start on the middle with the littlest piece, and then just add these little pieces. I didn't have much of this one left, so this is going to be a pretty small flower. Can y'all see? Let me double check. Oh, glad I looked. Have to be sure y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm so glad to see you guys coming in. Hi, Sydney. Gut72. Hello, who are you? I don't think I know you. I'm so glad that you guys are here, because we need to stick together, right? We need some joy. We need to use what we are gifted at or can do. You don't have to be super talented, you know. Whatever it is that you're good at, use it and put it out there so that we have more beauty in this world. I've cut some others with just other, this is actually that votive glass. So usually what I do is just kind of put them all out and take the smallest pieces and do them first. So something like that. That's a little tiny one. You can also grab some tweezers, and I lost my picture. I want to be sure that I can see what I'm doing on my page so I don't go off the edge there. You know, you can use tweezers if you're having trouble, because I do feel like my hands are so big compared to this glass that sometimes it just helps me to place things with the tweezers. But you're just placing them. So once you know how to cut your own glass, it really opens up so much that you can do. However, if you don't want to, then what do you have? Jewelry, or, you know, you can use some beads. I'll show you some beads. There's lots of other things you can do. Or you can just, like I said, use a napkin or some type of decoupage paper and put that down. It doesn't have to be, you know, glass. But I do love giving y'all ideas with glass. And we'll put a couple of leaves. That's just a different piece of vase that I had. I love that textured glass. Forgot I've got this over here. I don't know why I miss seeing these. Let's see, are y'all still here? There it is. Barb, I've got a PDF download that has my favorite tools. If you will like email me, I can send it to you. But right now my email is not working great. I'm having to kind of redo some things with it. So I have not been sending out like my usual weekly email. But if you can email me, I will be able to send it to you. But to get started, you can just get a pair of nippers, and it can be the cheaper Amazon type. It doesn't have to be the ones that I use, because these are a little more expensive, because they are great for people with arthritis, or you know, they're just a little bit higher quality than your Amazon nippers. And so, you know, I wouldn't necessarily buy those unless you're sure you enjoy doing it. So you see how we can start doing like a little arrangement, and I've got more. So that's what my plan is, to do all this glass over on this side, and I've got leaves for this. This is mosaic glass. And Barb, answer to your question, it's better to have a, let me show you. Well, I don't see it handy, but a certain type of cutter for the mosaic glass. You can use nippers, but you might waste a lot of glass. This one took me a while. It's not easy to get a little piece right here to make more of the heart, but I thought I might lay that down somewhere. And then I've got glass. I've got some vitrograph, which you buy just like this on Amazon, or I buy mine on Etsy. I've got some beads. So this is the design. And I think if I put my other flower about here, then we know we're going to write right here. So let's do that. I'm going to try. I've never done this, so we're going to do this together. I'm going to try using my Posca pen. So I'm nervous, but I'm going to try it. Okay, will y'all let me know which verse you like better? She is more precious than rubies, which using the red is perfect, or her children rise up and call her blessed. Either one of those would be perfect for this piece. So let me know which one you like. We'll say this one is number 1, and then her children will be number 2. Let me know what you think. I'm not seeing any other comments coming through, so let's see. There we go. Monica's it. Okay. So y'all say 1 so far. Mary says 2. Hi, Mary Jo. Proud of you for she's fixing to teach a class. Marcia says 1. We've got 3 against 1, so vote quick. 4 against 1. Look at Brenda's flowers by her name. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you. I think we'll go with 1. You guys, I'm nervous to do this with my handwriting, but I do think it's important to use your handwriting sometimes. It's more personal, and especially if you're giving it to somebody that's going to keep it, you know, like a relative, they want your handwriting. Trust me. I wish I had more things with my mom's handwriting on it, so I'm going to just go for it. Oh, I'm very nervous. Ugh, very nervous, you guys. Hold on. I don't know what I can do now if I don't like what I just did. Yeah, it's kind of going up, isn't it? See, that's the problem, is I could have made some lines. I think that's okay, right? I don't think. So, Monica, do you think it needs to be fixed, changed? Let me know, guys. Does it look too off? Looks good, looks great. I think it's okay since it's all kind of going the same way. I think we can make it work. But let me know if y'all think it's a deal breaker. So what I would do if we like it is I will dry it and then put a sealer over it. Now this is supposed to be just paint, like a paint marker, and it's called Posca markers. But I don't trust anything that I haven't already tested. So I am going to do a sealer over here, over this. So I'm going to get it good and dry and then seal it. This time, instead of the multi-purpose sealer, I'm using a Duraclear gloss varnish to seal the paint. And if it runs, then we're out of luck. We'll see. We'll have to see what to do. If you are new here, I'm glad you're watching. I'd love to know that you're here, so leave us a comment. Anything will do. You can just say, watching from Nebraska or wherever. See that? You see that, guys? It did smear it a little. That's why I don't trust. There's so many people that will say, no, you can paint right over it. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to put this sealer over it. And I'm just going to glide it and try not to like really over smear or anything. Like, notice how I'm just gliding it, taking it off. And it goes on, I'm putting it on pretty thick. Brenda, it was, I used the heat tool, but you know, I do think that it probably, I don't know. I don't know if letting it dry longer, I mean, I don't know if that would help or if, I really don't know. To be safer, I could have used just paint and painted it on. But you'll get, or most people can do better with the marker because we're so used to writing than with a paintbrush writing your words. That's why I use that. Okay, so that's, I'm gonna just let this dry while we mix our resin. So I use ArtResin. And let's mark our cup. Ooh, I forgot to see how big this is. Let's just measure. It looks to be 14 inches by about maybe 9 or 10. And if you go to, oh, let's see, you had a pit pen smear. Yeah, probably drying overnight would have been really smart to do. But you know me, I'm always going to just go for it. But if you go to the ArtResin website, just ArtResin.com, you can see, it will tell you how much resin you need for the size of what you're using. You just plug in, you know, 14 by, what did I say, 10-ish? And let's just do that, because I'm curious exactly how much it's going to tell me. So 14 by 10, and it's going to tell me I need 5 ounces. So what I would do is, now I'm not going to need that much because this is super thin. So I'll go ahead and do 5. So you would need, you know, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And go ahead and put on gloves because it is sticky, super sticky. But it is safe to use. It's no VOCs, COVs, or BPAs, which is abbreviations for the chemicals that have a long name that you don't want to breathe in. So we're going to do 2.5 ounces of resin and 2.5 ounces of hardener. I do have a feeling this is going to be way too much because, you know, this was a very thin, and when you put the lid on, once you're done, you put the lid on, I recommend putting it kind of far away from you so that you don't forget which one you just poured. I've done it where, you know, I got distracted. I, you know, answered somebody that came to the door or something, and then when I sat down, I was like, oh wait, which one did I just pour? Was it the resin or hardener? You know, I couldn't remember. So go ahead and set it far away, and that way there's no issue. Then you want to set your timer for 3 minutes. And you guys, we can chat while we do this. You can ask any questions or tell me something good that's happened. 3 minutes, start. And we're going to mix kind of slow and easy. Don't mix it too fast. You'll get extra bubbles that you don't need. 3 minutes. Thank you, Sydney. Is the black dry enough? Oh, yeah. No, probably wouldn't. The red is beautiful. I love the red glass, and I think that this will be beautiful for Mother's Day. But of course, you know, just because, don't wait. You know, if you do make one of these and it's for your mother, I recommend giving it to her in advance and say, this is for Mother's Day, but I didn't want to go one more day without you knowing how much I care about you, you know? Because we never know how much time we have with somebody, as the Guthrie family is finding out. That's what, if you came in late, that's what prompted this project tonight, is just the utter sadness that so many of us feel watching this family anguish over their kidnapped mother or whatever has happened, you know. We can pray, and I have been praying every day, and today I just kind of left my social media off and prayed, and then this project came to me. And so I thought maybe, you know, doing this and showing you guys how to do this for somebody you love, or your mom, or whatever. It could be an aunt, it could be a friend that's important to you. It doesn't have to be a mother, but you know, use what you're good at and bless somebody with it. Put the good in the world that people need so desperately. Let me see if I'm missing some comments, because I'm not seeing anything. Somebody leave me a comment so that I know y'all are here. There. Every so often, take your stick and get that resin worked back in. And then I scrape the sides of my cup and the bottom of the cup as I go. And of course, please hit the like and subscribe. If you have not subscribed to this channel, you can just hit the little button that says subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It just gives you a little notification when I do go live. Good. Thanks, Betty. I appreciate it. I was like, we are live, right? You're still watching. We got one here watching. I don't know if anybody else is. I can never tell who is here. But again, I go pretty slow. You don't want to... There's the timer. You don't want to get a lot of extra bubbles in it. Hi, Marcia. Okay, great. I'm glad you're still here. So we're going to set this aside. Just giving it kind of a final stir. and bring our project back over, and I'm going to dry it. See, I can see that it's not all dried, so we're going to dry it. Your sealer is really the resin, but since I wasn't sure how this marker would do with the resin, I wanted to seal it first, so we'll see. We're going to all do this together. I haven't used one of those markers with my resin yet. You know, there's that quote that says, be the good you want to see in the world, and that's kind of what we're doing tonight, is we're just reminding each other to put beauty in the world, do something for people that you care about. And even if you're not one that's going to do this, I hope that this encourages you, and I hope that you're, you know, just hanging out with us, you feel encouraged. Now, when I heat this up the way I'm doing to get it really good and dry, I do have to let it cool down before I pour my resin. Otherwise, your resin's gonna get it's practically boiling, you know, temperature. This thing gets to about 400 degrees, and we don't need our resin that hot, so. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to try, I pulled this powder out. I have not used it yet. As you can see, it's still sealed. I've used other colors, but I want to try adding, oh wait, it's not sealed. Never mind, take that back. But I haven't used it yet. There. And I'm going to put a little of our resin separate. I'm going to put about half of it in here. I think I'm going to love it, but I just want to test it first. So if I don't love it, I'll use the other. And then I recommend using something when you put powder, mica powder into your resin, because if I was to do this, it could just dump in there. So grab something small, a popsicle stick will work, and add it this way. You don't need a lot. You'll be surprised how a little bit goes a long way. So we're going to see what just a little bit will do. This color is, what did I say, Chardonnay? White Chelsea. Y'all help me. Can't see it. See the iridescent look to it? I think that's going to be so pretty. I actually have used this on a project that I never did publicly, so I do know how pretty it is. See that? I hope y'all can see. It's kind of a little gold, iridescent gold color. And I think this is perfect. I don't want it so much that it overtakes the project. So I think I'm going to stop at this. It's going to hopefully give it a really pretty shimmer. Now, on the back side of this, like I said, it's already comes like this with the little hanger. So remember, you know, it's probably best to put this on something so that it's level. Whenever you're working with resin, your table needs to be level where it cures, and the project needs to be level. It is pretty. I hope that this works and doesn't hurt our ink over here, our marker. I'm going to go ahead and put down quite a bit and switch to my other stick. I like to use this one. You can buy these on Amazon, or like the Dollar Tree sometimes has them on the makeup aisle because people use them for their skincare routine. Oh, I think this is, I did not use much of the mica powder, and I think I used the perfect amount because it gives it that really pretty shimmer without overtaking it. You know, it's not so noticeable. Oh, love that color back there. Can y'all see it? I don't know if y'all can, but it is just a really pretty little shimmer that it gives it. And I'm just kind of bringing it to the sides. ArtResin is self-leveling, so as long as I have it on a level surface, it will continue to level out. But I do my part to get it to all the edges. And of course, when I pour more down, it will help. Right now, I've got about, you know, half of it down. Okay, let's put some of our glass down. We will pop some bubbles though. I use the little butane torch. I turn it more towards the low than the high. The high will give you a really long flame and we don't need that. And just pop the bubbles. Keep it moving. Don't let it sit in one spot very long. And you can have a toothpick, or I always have my little tweezers handy. And if I see something in it while I'm working like this, then I'll go ahead and see if I have a toothpick. Then I will pick it out real quick. And I do, so I'm going to grab that. Sometimes you go to grab something and it's really just the wood. So that right there is just the wood. I can't, that's not something I can get out. In fact, everything that I'm seeing is literally just part of the wood, so. Hi, Mickey. Okay, so we've got our pieces we've already cut. Again, I'm just taking the smallest piece and kind of starting with that. Oops, already know I need that moved. Put that too close to the edge. If you want to learn how to cut glass, you know, I just don't want to take the time to do it on a live because it's time consuming. But, you know, I highly recommend just get into my art membership, even if it's just for a month and you can learn it. Because it's inexpensive. It's $29 for a month. And hopefully you won't want to leave because we do so much more than just, you know, we do glass cutting and I have lots of tutorials, but we do mixed media, we do painting. We're painting a really cute bunny tomorrow. Could come paint with us, and a sweet community of ladies that, you know, care about each other, lift each other up. Now there are some that are super quiet and they won't talk, and that's okay. You know, they're just there to learn, and then they, you know, it's like a cafeteria where you take what you want, and not everybody takes it all, and some take it. So anyway, you could try it and see if you like it. So see how we are just putting the little pieces to form a flower. Let's do the next. Oh, thank you, Tana. I hope so. I appreciate that. I really just, you know, really try to have a lot of variety so that everybody, if you don't like one thing, you'll like the next, hopefully. And I also I'm happy when people recommend something, you know, you can always, I don't think we need that piece. I'm taking him away. I think it made it a little too big. Happy when people recommend something. Because yes, we can always stop and do something other than what I had planned. I'm just testing, seeing how I like it kind of piled up like that. Move him around. You have about 45 minutes from the time you mix your resin and you know you're done stirring up until it's like getting too dry or too thick. You have about 45 minutes to work with it, depending on the weather. There's a lot of variables, and that's why I say, you know, watch all the tutorials that are in the group, and you'll learn so much because I give tips every time I do a project. And so if you live in a really cold climate, it needs warm. So you need to have a warm room in order to do your projects. And there's also tips I can give you about warming up your bottle of resin. We have leaves. I'm going to save those because I'm not sure where I'm going to put those or my heart. Oh, thank you, Brenda. You're one of those sweet ladies. Thanks, Laveda and Marcia. Appreciate you guys. Let's grab these. Sorry that my arm's going across there. Oh my goodness. Was I not? I hope y'all could see what I was doing. Somebody has to holler at me if not. Is that better? I'm just starting with the smallest pieces, kind of forming the center of the flower. Honestly, there's no right or wrong way. Everybody does it different. You can watch different artists and you'll see that we all kind of have our own preferences. So you just kind of try things and then you'll learn which way you prefer to do it. Oopsie, small one. Sometimes when I'm doing a project like this, I'll even stop and cut more glass. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't have the right, I need another small one. And I'll just stop and cut a little bit. So it's just a great skill to know how to do because you can just really make your art kind of come to life and in a 3D way. And if you sell your art, like Mary Jo and others in the group, then that definitely opens up more possibilities because not everybody can do it, not everybody wants to do it, but they appreciate it, so they'll buy your art, you know, because they want that special 3D look. I've got a piece left, but I don't think I need it either. I'm going to save that. Hi, Judy. A cute riser. Ooh, it would make a cute riser. You are right. Yes, that would. So we've got a couple of leaves. So I'm going to use maybe one here. And then maybe these over here. And you could even do one, you know, like this, where they're not too close to each other. This right here is mosaic glass. And this, but everything else, this is mosaic glass, but this and the other pieces are pieces of a vase, or pieces of different vases rather. And then I pulled out, where's this? Lots of these little clear and white pieces I'm going to do all along the bottom. Just going to lay these down. I'm going to kind of put these first and then lay down the clear pieces. These are multi-size, some small, some large. That would even be pretty in the middle, you guys, or a little bead in the middle. Let me try that little bead. Oh, I like that. Now what I'm dropping down here is just some little faceted beads. These are just little glass flowers. Oh, and I do have other things. Ooh, I almost forgot my glass. I did pull this is, I cut my own glass a lot. This is just like probably a vase or a jar. I don't remember what. And that's what this is. But you can also buy crushed glass. But I thought having that sprinkled along even in here would be pretty. Anything to add a little sparkle. So my family knows never throw away a broken dish or glass. I'll come running. And what else? People at church sometimes give me broken things, which I love. But you can definitely buy the crushed glass. And it's already cut for you, so. No, I won't pour it that deep. I'll leave some of the glass exposed. Should we even go around the whole thing? I pictured it kind of like this. I didn't know if I'd want to use this, so I'm going to sneeze. I'm so sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud. I'm thinking if I want to use this, but if I did, I'd probably sprinkle it around. Let's try. Let's try adding some flowers in and these are just glass beads that I'm adding. If you ever do something and you just don't like it, you can always remove it, but usually, I usually like what. And then I did have the vitrograph that you can make into like stems, like that. This I buy on Etsy from a lady named Glass by Sharona. Is that her name? Let me look at this real fast. Let me be sure I'm not telling you wrong. Yeah, Glass by Sharona, S-H-A-R-O-N-A. And I've loved every piece. You know, you send it, you buy it in a bundle, and they have all been really good. Do y'all like this vitrograph? Let me know. And you could also move it to be like this on the actual stem. What do y'all think of that? Let me know. I'm not seeing your comments. I hope y'all are still here with me. I usually just do what I'm doing. I just kind of play around with it for a little bit till I like what I have. Thank you, Sydney. Let's see about this. I'm just moving that here for now. Ooh, I kind of like that sticking up even. I'm going to turn it this way though. Y'all like the little beads? I did pull green in case we wanted to use some of them, almost like leaves, you know. These are green beads. This is like a handmade glass bead. And so you can use those as leaves if you want. I don't know that we need those. You could add a few, like say this little flower, you know, you could add some there with it. I do like using glass beads because I think they're shinier, but you can use acrylic or whatever you have. So watch for beads on sale or watch for garage sales. If you want to make something special using your mother or grandmother's costume jewelry, that's always fun. Something like that. Oh, okay, let's take a look and see what we think. I'm going to pour a little more resin. Tana asked, you know, was I going to cover like everything so that the glass is covered? I'm not. what my plan was to see how there's a little lip on there. I didn't want to pour over that, so to just let it come up to this little lip right here. And then I will pour a little of our clear resin that we had. I'll go ahead and drizzle that over this glass. And then let's pop bubbles. I keep it moving, so you know, it seems like I'm doing it a long time, but as long as you're moving it, and you know, sometimes I pull back, it's not really just directly on it or anything. Okay, let's see. Can y'all see the flowers? Maybe better if I hold them there. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm so glad. Thanks, Sherry. Thank you, Tana and Marcia. Appreciate you guys. So the handwriting isn't perfect, but that is okay. Things like this are kind of a gift from your heart, you know? You're doing this because you care about somebody and you love them, and they won't mind if your handwriting isn't beautiful or perfect, I promise. If you don't want to venture on something huge, maybe just paint a flower with some acrylic paint and a paintbrush, and then write a note that has this. You can do so many things that are very easy and simple. Oh, Brenda, thank you. I see $4.99.